What if I tell you that with less than $220, that is less than 350,000 naira, you can set up an inverter system for your home? Wait, before you start thinking too far, let me break it down. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up a simple inverter system for your home with less than 350,000 naira. So the number one component that you need is the inverter. One, inverter. Number two is battery. Number three is solar panel. And number four is charge controller. And finally, you need cable, or you can say wire, right? So I'm going to break these components down and tell you what they do and also how much you can get each of them. Number one, this is the inverter. So the work of the inverter in the whole system is to convert the energy inside the battery to the energy you can use to charge your phone, charge your laptop, and power your lightning bulbs and your socket, right? So it basically converts the energy inside the battery to the energy you can use in your home. Number two is the battery. So the work of the battery is to store the energy that the inverter will convert. Without the battery, there's no energy for the inverter to use to invert. So that's why they call it inverter. So it inverts the energy inside the battery to the energy you can use. Because what is inside the battery is known as DC. Either you say DC current, or you can say DC voltage, right? So it stores the energy in form of current and voltage inside the battery, but they are in DC form. So with the inverter, you convert this DC to AC. So AC is what you use to charge your laptop, charge your phone, and power your bulb, and maybe power your television. Your AC is AC. Why battery has DC? So the inverter converts this DC to AC. Then the third one is the solar panel. So what's the work of the solar panel? The solar panel traps the energy in the sunlight and converts it to DC, right? So once it converts it to DC, it will now use the DC to charge your battery, and then the battery will now give the DC voltage to the inverter, and inverter converts it to AC. But then you can't take your panel directly to your battery, because batteries, they are rated. So you have 12 volts, you have 24 volts, you have 48 volts, right? So the work of the charge controller is to convert this voltage coming from your solar panel to the right amount to be able to charge your battery, right? That's the work of the charge controller. So the charge controller converts this voltage coming from here, maybe 48 volts here, or maybe 36 volts, or how many volts you have. Then it will convert it to the required amount of volts, say 12 volts for 12 volt battery, 24 for 24 volt battery. Then wire. So you need, for when you are installing your inverter, you need to do cabling, right? You need the right gauges of cable to be able to wire your inverter. So I'm going to show you how these components are connected. Then after that, we can now talk about how much we can get each of these components. Now, this is your solar panel. This is your panel. So from your panel, you connect to charge controller. So this is charge controller. Then from your charge controller, you go to battery. Then finally, you can now go to your inverter. So all these things that are traveling here, they are all DC voltage and current. Or rather, let me connect it directly to the battery terminal so that you will not be confused. So like this to this point, and from here to this point. So we have here is negative and here is positive. So all these are DC. Then from here now, this is the output of the inverter. So let's call this guy output of inverter. So here we have AC, which is 220 volts. So this is your house. So this is your house. So basically, this is the flow of how you set up your inverter system. Now, this is very minimalistic because in some big settings, in some big setup, you have some uh, protective components like DC breakers or AC breakers to help you to safeguard your charge controller from the panel or maybe from the inverter to your house. But then this is a very simplistic version of your inverter setup. Now, when I was starting this video, I made mention that with 300 and less than 350,000 naira, you can be able to set up something like this. And maybe some of us are wondering how can 350,000 naira be able to do something of this nature. So I'm going to break it down, tell you how much you need for it. So depending on the type of inverter you want to buy, for a small setup like this, you need maybe 500 watts or 1000 watts. So with the range of 50 to 70,000 naira, you should be able to get a very good high frequency inverter. Then for battery, with 80,000 naira to 150,000 naira, you should be able to get um, a good battery pack that will be able to power your inverter. Then for solar panel, with 40,000 naira to 50,000 naira, you should be able to get a very good wattage of solar panel, maybe 200 watt or 175 watt or 250 watt panel to charge your system. Then for charge controller, for people that wants to for this battery part, maybe you feel you need to build your own battery pack, so you can as well from these lithium ion cells, you can as well develop your own battery or build your own battery pack. Maybe I will do a video to show you how you can be able to set up your own battery pack using this second life battery, or maybe you can get new ones if you wish. Now, this is a charge controller. So depending on the type, but this one is MPPT, very good and robust. So depending on the type you want to buy, we basically have two types of charge controllers. We have PMW and we have MPPT. MPPT is the best one. I don't want this video to be too long. So maybe in the next video, I will break down all these components, why you should choose this and why you should not choose this. But for charge controllers, you can get them for 20,000 naira to 55,000 naira, depending on the type you are buying. Then, of course, the cables, because you need to wire from your panel to your charge controller to battery to inverter. So if you do this calculation, you see that on average, what we have here is less than 350,000 naira. So you can set up your system. But mind you, this system is not to power your AC, it's not to power your electric cooker. It's basically for people that needs a very low power requirement, that has a very low power requirement. You want to be able to power your laptop, charge your phone, this kind of setup is not, you cannot replace it with your normal grid, with your normal light from the national grid. But then it's just for a backup system, because for people that are experiencing epileptic power supply, so you can use it just for backup. Maybe you are working from home, you need something that will help you charge your laptop, you need something that will help you make sure that your gadgets are charged, and you need something that will help you power your lightning points. So this is a very good start for you. Thank you.